Hey everyone, thank you for joining us here today at Imagination Stay-Cation. I'm a Cologne, the creator of stay-at-home field trips, and today I'm going to be showing you some Halloween activities that you can do at home with probably things that you have just laying around the house. Okay, so here's a really good sensory activity that my kids really enjoy doing. So we take some rice and we color it using some food color and vinegar. I find the best way to color the rice is to put it in a Ziploc bag with the vinegar and the food coloring and let them squish it around until the color goes throughout. Then we let it dry on a sheet pan overnight. I just put the sheet pan in my oven off, of course, and just let it dry overnight. And then that way the color sticks to it. It has this like multicolored effect. You can definitely use more food coloring if you want a more even color throughout. But to make it look like pumpkin guts in this case, because we call this one the pumpkin guts activity, I just let it stay a little bit multicolored, multi-shaded with that orange. What we did was we were saving some jars from peanut butter or peanuts or anything that you have. This was Parmesan cheese. Jelly works well. I prefer to use plastic jars just because I do let little hands play with this. So I find that plastic jars are the safest to have around them. You could use a marker, but because I'm going to be reusing these to do other activities, I chose to use construction paper and cut out the shapes for my jack-o'-lanterns. And so rather than just fill it with your hands or scoop it in, I let them play with the rice, but then I give them different size and different shape scoopers to use so that they can scoop it in themselves. A lot of the times they do like to run their hands through it just because it does have such a really nice consistency, and it's really good for sensory. It helps kids focus and they do like to sit here for a little while and just play with the rice and feel it in their hands. We also do a lot with making different sounds and hearing what the different sounds sound like. So you can do like rainfall. And then after they're full, they really like to run it, let it fall and run through their hands and fingers. And we try to weigh them, and I have them close their eyes and I put different amounts in each hand and ask them which one feels heavier. And this is just a really fun sensory activity that kids tend to enjoy.
Show me what you're doing. Whoa, okay, show me how you're mixing. You're filling the guts of the pumpkins?
Yeah.
With orange rice?
Yeah.
Okay, the next fun thing I have for you is also another sensory bin. These are a really big hit in our house because they do like to do a lot of sensory things. So for this activity, what you'll need is a bin for your sensory items. So we chose to use black beans, dried black beans. I used about 3 bags of black beans and any spooky thing that you can think of. So you can call this a graveyard, or you can just call it, bugs and dirt or something like that. And all these things I did find at the dollar store. So you can get some dollar deals even at the regular grocery store. But we found these little scorpions that we have in here. We have these bouncy spiders and bugs and some black spiders, the little black spider rings. We have some colorful spiders that we found there. There's some ants. So these can be tricky because they're the same color of the beans. So when they're sticking their hands in there, running their hands through, they come across these bugs, and it's just a little spooky sensory play. We also have found this little coffin. You don't need to use that, but whatever you can find that's spooky, if you're into that. At the dollar store, we did find these really cool scoopers that I guess would be to serve, I don't know, chips or something, or popcorn. And the fun thing about this is when we pulled out some of the same containers that we used for the pumpkin filling, we had them, or I had them just try to fill up one of the containers. And it's really not that easy to do because the beans do fall through the fingers, but they really loved sort of searching for the bugs, and I hid all the bugs down below, and they could filter through and find bugs. And they just play for hours with this and grabbing the eyeballs and moving the eyeballs from one hand to the other hand. It's a really good activity for sensory, but also just kind of skill building on, you know, can they carry it across the room, carry the eyeball without falling across the room. It sort of is a play on the egg with the wooden spoon that you hold and you have an egg race across your yard. So that was kind of fun activity that they sort of came up with on their own, and then we started just doing races like that, just going back and forth holding an eyeball in the hand. So again, this is another one of those really nice sensory ones where they do like running their fingers through. Kids love that, just feeling the different weights. You could also do a measuring activity with this, teaching them how to measure cups and different units of measurement that way.
Are you playing catching bugs? Emilio.
Thank you so much for joining me and working on some of our Halloween activities. I hope you found them useful. If you have any comments or questions, please send me a message, comment below, and I'd be happy to share any of the ingredients that we used, any of the supplies lists and where I found them, and also any tips and tricks that I have for some of your sensory activities or arts and crafts activities. Thanks so much for watching Imagination Stay-Cation. Bye!